Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel that takes you deep inside the San Francisco 49ers. I am your host, Jack Hammer, and today we're going to be discussing 49ers quarterback Sam Darnold. In particular, we're going to be looking at what Sam Darnold needs to do if he is going to become the starting quarterback of the 49ers, or if it just means beating out Trey Lance to be the backup behind Brock Purdy. We'll see how all that plays out. But the 49ers went out, they signed Darnold on day one of free agency, and ever since then, the smoke around Darnold and the 49ers organization has grown thicker and thicker. NFL insider after NFL insider has stated this offseason that look for Sam Darnold to be the guy to start for the 49ers if Brock Purdy's not healthy. Look for Sam Darnold to be ahead of Trey Lance when training camp opens. That was actually the most recent, right? You had Albert Breer on with Colin Cowherd, and he told him that he thinks that Darnold might be the guy taking the first snap for the 49ers during training camp if Brock Purdy's not healthy. So that's a little bit of a surprise to me. But more importantly, forget about my feelings on it, forget about anybody else's feelings about it. This show is all about what Darnold is going to have to do to make that a reality, to make all these insiders actually be right for a change. Number one, Sam Darnold needs to stop turning the ball over. You know, there's been a lot of talk about this around this offseason ever since the 49ers picked him up. But you look at Sam Darnold over the course of his career. He has played 56 games. In those 56 games, he has 55 interceptions. On top of those 55 interceptions, he has 35 fumbles, 13 of those which were recovered by their team. So in total, in 56 career games, Sam Darnold has turned the ball over 68 times. So more than once a game for Sam Darnold, and that's not something that really works for the 49ers. You know, in the last show that we did here, we talked about how the 49ers need to be able to control the ball on offense in terms of not turning it over. That runs right in the face of it, you know. Again, Sam Darnold turning the ball over 68 times in 56 games. Well, you look at the 49ers, and since 2019, they are 6-21 in games in which they've turned the ball over more than their opponents. So that's number one for Sam Darnold. Hold on to the freaking ball. Number two, you know, he's got to be able to get his completion percentage up to Sam Darnold. You know, we've heard all about it this year, this offseason, you know. We had one insider say that Sam Darnold is the greatest thrower of the football in San Francisco 49ers history. Now, that could be kind of correct, because being a great thrower of the football doesn't mean you're a good quarterback at all. It just means that you can throw the ball well. But so much more goes into that quarterback position. And one of the big things is completion percentage. And Sam Darnold has really struggled in that area throughout his career. You know, you look at the last 5 seasons, the 5 seasons since Sam Darnold came in the NFL, and an average of 30 NFL quarterbacks per season complete over 60% of their passes. Now, those are the qualifying quarterbacks, the ones who have met a minimum number of attempts. But still, an average of 30 quarterbacks per season in the NFL complete over 60% of their passes. Now, here's where it gets interesting, because the greatest thrower of the football, Sam Darnold, he's completed over 60% of his passes in a season just one time. His career completion percentage is just 59.7. So he's below, not just below average, he's at the bottom of the league when it comes to completion percentage and the ability to get the ball where it's supposed to go. Like I said, he's really good. He's a great thrower of the football. I agree with that from the standpoint of what I saw of him throwing the ball against error during the OTAs and minicamp. But then once you get into where you have a defense around you, you've got receivers who are running around, you've got to put it on them. Yeah, that changes a little bit for Sam Darnold. So those are the top 2 things. Number one, stop turning the ball over. Number 2, make sure you actually get it to the guy who you're throwing it to. Have a more accurate ball and get that completion percentage up. And then last but not least, number 3, improve as a processor. You know, this is something we've heard people talk a lot about going back to the 2021 draft. There was discussions around this with Trey Lance. There's still discussions around those Trey Lance. But when it comes to Sam Darnold, it applies to him. And here's the thing. When you talk about quarterbacks, you talk about their ability or inability to process, you're not talking about their intelligence. You're not saying that they're stupid. What you're saying is they're not able to get the ball where it's supposed to go. They're not able to react quickly enough during the play to get the ball where it needs to go. And for Sam Darnold, that shows up in the interceptions in the turnovers. It shows up in the low completion percentage and all those things. On top of that, when you watch Sam Darnold on film, you see a number of plays where there's guys where he should be going with the ball that could be big plays, but it doesn't go there. Instead, it goes to somebody else, and it's a short completion. Instead of it being a first down, it's a gain of 3, that type of stuff. And for Sam Darnold, that's where the 49ers are hoping they're going to be able to change that for him, right? Because Sam Darnold here in San Francisco now has Kyle Shanahan on his side, a terrific play caller. Nobody's really going to argue the fact that Kyle Shanahan does a great job of getting guys open in his offense, getting receivers open for the quarterback. And on top of that, in San Francisco, Sam Darnold now has the best collection of weapons he's ever had in his career. So you take all that together, and he should be able to look better as a processor. He should be able to get the ball to the guy who's open. Again, that's all on him. But here's the thing. If Sam Darnold can't turn it around in San Francisco with one of the best play callers in the game today, with one of the best rosters around him that he's ever had in his career, he might never do it in his career, and it might be the end of Sam Darnold in the NFL in terms of ever having a chance to be a starting quarterback in this league. Take it for what it's worth. Thank you all so much for tuning in. If you can do me a favor before you leave, please hit that like button, and then also subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And then once you do that, turn on your notifications. That way you don't miss any of the updates right here on Inside the Farms with Jack Hammer. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll talk with you soon.